Good morning, evening, afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Invest Success Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Emery, and this is my partner, Jim Edenfield.
Hello.
And today we've got a special reminiscent episode.
We're going to walk down memory lane.
We're going to walk down memory lane. We're going to talk about our top five students that have and what they've done with their success. We won't name names so that they don't get all mad at each other. We'll give a little description so they'll know who they are. But we're gonna do this, and this is gonna be fun. And as long I've run Invest Success since 2016. Jim came on board about 2021, so he knows most of these stories. And actually, we may go in the top six, but
Okay.
we'll kind of start there. So let's start with number 5. You ready?
All right.
Do you know who it is? Yeah.
Yep. Guy spent a lot of money. One of my favorites. It's hard not to say his name. And he joined our program. He came in with the first question. We have this questionnaire. We go, membership application. Give us a little feedback of who you are, what you've done, what do you want to do, what's your experience, how much money, blah, blah, blah. And this guy had done 6 flips already. So our biggest question is like, why are you coming to us? He's like, I'm coming for that little bit of nudge, that little bit of coaching, and a little encouragement. And and he told other people, look at him in the class, like, you've done how many and you're still here? He goes, you always learn something. You continue to learn. But he joined our program. We went out early in his program. He found a house on MLS. We went out. It was a wholesale deal, wasn't it? Wholesale deal. We went to it. The numbers looked good on paper. We went online. It looked good. Tim says, let's go walk the house with him. We were there 2 hours because in the door, within 10 minutes, of like, this is deal. Mm-hmm. We found, there are certain house floor plans. Tim says there's only like 10 floor plans in Denver. Yeah. This was one. He walked in and go, I know how to increase the value right now. We're going to knock some walls down. There's one bathroom, a hallway, and there's no primary bathroom. There's no, just the one bathroom. We very easily took the hallway out, converted that bathroom into 2. The master or the primary bedroom had its own bathroom. Then there was one for the public. We did that. He made did really good. It was back during kind of the bidding wars, and he had a buyer come in. He says, "I've already lost 3 houses. I made an offer. I couldn't get it." He bid I think it was $50K over. Something roughly like $50K. He bid way over the asking price. At the end of the day, after the deals were paid, the bills were paid, everything closed, he cleared $135,000 on that house.
Yeah. Now he's a middle-aged guy, kind of a little bit younger than us, but kind of in his mid-40s. He and his wife. He was a real estate agent, so that helped. And then within 3 weeks, he found another property through a wholesaler. I went up to see it. It was up in north part of town. We looked at it. It was in a unique community. It was actually a bedroom community that had some HOAs, but all the houses were the same. His next door neighbor was the comp he used, and we walked in the door, talked to the agent, walked around. He said, yeah, I'm going to sign it right here, right then. He bought that house. There was another guy in the house that was trying to buy it, but he had to go home and run his numbers. Our guy went out and said, okay, I'm going to buy it.
He went to the car and got the check.
And it was done. He ended up making $84,000 on that deal. So that's deal number 5.
In 9 months, he cleared $210,000.
Yeah.
And at the end of his year, we took him out and we had lunch with him and everything, and he's like, I want to stay in the program. And Tim's like, why? I'm like, yes, keep him. I love having him around. But he's like, no, you've got this. You've got this. And we're still friends. We still communicate.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yep. All right. So deal number 4, one of my favorite. This is pre-Jim. Young gal and her husband came in the program in her early or late 20s, early 30s. Really wanted to learn how to do this business. Her father had done it. She had some experience. She was a real estate agent, but came in and on her first deal did not go so well. There was some miscommunication between her and her contractor, a lot of stuff that didn't work out right that we had to deal with. There's some subcontractors put liens on her property without telling her. We had to deal with that. But once we got through it, she did okay on that first deal. But the great thing is, after that, she took that and has moved it to the next level. So in the last 5 or 6 years, she has flipped, I think, over 25 properties. She is now a developer out there doing her own thing. She is living her life. She is trying to retire by 40, if not sooner. And she's just crushing it. And she's really finding unique properties. She's not having any problems finding the properties anymore. But it's really been a unique situation for her to move forward from there. She's now got 2 kids. I don't know how old the kids are now, but they're great kids, and she's loving life. I think her husband has retired out of his business, and he's working on it as well. And they're doing fantastic, and just one of the great ways that number 4 went.
Even before I joined with Tim and was involved in the Breakfast Club and stuff and Invest Success, I'm a private money lender. So I'm working lending money to flippers. I also host a networking group up north, but I'm on Facebook watching all these people. She was everywhere, constantly working. And another friend, close friend of mine, he's a private money lender. He goes, I love that woman to death because she calls. I'm like, how much and where do I send it? There was no 50 question because she was such a machine, such great going. She gets private money whenever she wants it. Drop of the hat. She doesn't have to go into detail. I just need, and he's like, how much and where do I send it? So,
right.
Great success story.
Right.
So when I did become part of Invest Success, and Tim goes, oh yeah, she's an alumni. I'm like, oh, that makes sense now.
All right. What about our third student, our friend who's buying apartment buildings?
Mr. Apartment Guy. He started out. He started with us and went into doing fix and flip. He learned the basics, and that's what I've said probably 5 times in 5 different podcasts. You learn the basics of flipping a house, fix and flipping, and you take that and you can go anywhere. You can do commercial. This guy is flying all over the country buying apartments, and he's buying it, doing value add. And he's got income. And he's a young guy. He's a pilot. He scuba dives. I watch him on Facebook and go, I'm living through you, little man.
He's a skydiver. He does all kinds of crazy
road trips, him and the dogs.
Yep.
He's living the dream, and it all started learning how to do a fix and a flip.
Yeah, another guy who had a little bit of experience. He's a real estate agent, but really wanted to hone his business and figure out how to make it go to the next level. And he did 3 or 4 flips. I think the first one, pretty sure he made about $75K. Second one, he made close to 50, and then he was off to the races and investing in other businesses, not necessarily just the apartment building, but he got invested in a couple different businesses, and now he is just doing great and buying apartments left and right. Really fun story. So
that was number 4. Where are we at? Number 4?
3.
Number 3? One of my favorite guys, and early in my Invest Success days, I got to talk with him. He was an alumni already, but he got involved. He didn't own a hammer. He didn't know how to change a doorknob. He got into what we call house hacking. He found out how to get a house through an FHA loan. Him and his girlfriend lived in one bedroom. They brought in roommates that basically paid the mortgage. He bought it ugly, made it pretty. The mortgage was being paid. He lived there for the 1 year that FHA says you should live there. He picked a favorite roommate, says, okay, you're the lead guy here. He went and got house number 2.
So he's a house hacker.
He's house hacker, and he's letting other people buy his houses. And when I talked to him, I think he had 10 loans out, and he owned like 17 doors because he started buying duplexes, triplex, fourplex. He was growing, and in 5 years from not owning a hammer, not knowing how to change a doorknob, he had equaled his W-2 income with passive income from his house hacking. Him and his now wife, she survived all those house hacking because he spoke at RIG one night, and everybody was like, is this girlfriend still with you? You went all these houses with all these guys and her, and he's like, yeah, and she's now my wife. And I finally got to meet her.
Yeah,
sharp lady, but they're a sharp couple. They're rock stars in their own world.
Right. His first deal he brought to me was a doozy. He had found a deal through a wholesaler, real estate agent, who also was his lender. There were tenants there, and this is one thing we do with students is we help you through the tenant process. He had to get his tenants out of there that didn't have a lease, that were only there 6 months out of the year because they came and went from Mexico, and we had to deal through all that stuff. So as a coach and a teacher, I love taking things like that and working us through the problems. And any other situation, it's just a problem. You just have to find a solution. We found a solution. We got through it. And 5 years later, he's retired. So that's number 3. So number 2 is my friend, and she was great. She and her husband joined us. This was, again, pre-Jim. But they were at their age where they were ready to retire or get out and do something different. And so, a couple of years older than me, but they wanted to do something different. So they found us through a friend, and we started talking and teaching her what to do. And she took it like it was the greatest thing in the world. The first deal she found was kind of in an odd part of town. I was like, are we sure we want to do this? And it was kind of on a busier street. But the unique thing about this house is it had a lot of bedrooms, and it had a lot of space to it. So, and the comps looked pretty good. So she went, did the deal, cleaned it up. I think she made $95,000 on that deal. That was her first one. She is still in the business. I run into her 2 to 3 times a year at potential flips. She found a business partner. They're doing some great things. They did some hotel work up in the mountains as well. Great people, great. Just took the information she was given and really became successful. So she's been one of those rock stars that keeps going. Yeah.
I guess one of my favorite, the big superstar, we came up with our own term based on this person, was he was an agent, a real estate agent. I don't know that he was
number one, right?
Number one for me, yeah. I don't know if he was an investor-friendly agent, because there's agents with a big R that don't understand creative financing. They don't understand what we do about how to fix it, flip it, buy it ugly, make it pretty. He was one of those guys. He came into the class, and he used to ask a lot of questions. He was there writing, shaking his head, yeah. So we went on what we do, our Saturday property tour, where we go out and we pick a house, 2 houses off the MLS. First one, we spend 2 hours in there going, okay, we'd knock these walls out. We'd do this to the kitchen. We'd take this 1 bath, make 2 baths, with all the stuff we'd do. And then we send room by room, roof to basement. And then we go, all right, based on the numbers, is this a deal? This house, everybody agreed that there's about $110K profit here. And he had been in the class long enough. He had got a good grasp on everything. Tim's like, okay, bud, you're up to bat. Do you want this? He was scared to death. He's like, other people in class, like, if you don't take this deal, we're going to take this deal. And he was still like,
No, he was scared.
So what we do is we do that, and we go to the second house, and you have 15 minutes to walk through, and you come out in 15 minutes. My numbers are. We're waiting in at the house, and they're like, where are you? I'm talking to my wife. I'm scared. And then he's like, well, Jim, if it's such a deal, why don't you do the deal? And like, our job is to find you the deals. And, if we stole all the good deals, we wouldn't be that great, and it's just an ethics thing for us. We find a deal. If it's a good deal, we want you to take it. So we found it's a deal, brother. And he's still scared. So I said, picture this. You're at the pool. There's a high dive. I've told this so many times. I said, there's a high dive. You've climbed up. The water looks beautiful. It's nice. It's clean. You want to go. But your edge of the diving board, your toes are just cinched down on the diving board, and you're scared to jump. I go, guess what? I'm going to come up behind you. I'm going to give you just a little nudge. But before I do, look down on the edge of the pool. There's Tim. Tim's your lifeguard. He's not going to let you drown. We're going to be in this with you every step of the way. So we nudged him. And in our coaching program, we do a lot more pulling back. Stop. No. We do more of that than the gentle nudge, because the deals are there. It's just you got to dig for them. They're nuggets, just like our basketball program. They're golden nuggets. You got to dig for them. But we pushed him. He dove. He got into the project. He had a scary start. He called us one day, oh, my gosh, I've been red flagged. What do I do? I got a stop order. Tim says, congratulations. Yep. You've got your first one. We're going to move on. correct the issue or answer the question that the inspector had. It was just siding. Oh, you didn't get a permit because you're tearing down the whole side. He's like, no, I'm just doing this one section. He was back to work, day 2.
2 days after that, yeah.
But he went through the project, and we were like, do this, don't do this, don't do this, do this. At the end of the day, we were watching him. We're going, okay, he's getting close. It's coming to the wire. He cleared $165,000 on his first flip ever.
Yep.
And he had kind of a bumpy road with the contractor. So we're again working with him, coaching him through it. He survived it, made a heck of a good profit.
Yep.
Right after that, he found a nice wholesale deal, which actually the wholesalers, they are always giving you bad numbers. Well, they went in the wrong direction. They gave him an extra sweet deal. And after the close, they're like, oh, man, but did we mess up?
Yep.
And he bought it for like $500-ish.
Yeah.
And it was worth like 1.3.
Yeah.
He did a crazy deal. And he went a little above board because we that's why we nicknamed the factor after him.
Yep.
But he made money on it.
Yep.
So, but he came in, I'm an agent, but I don't understand this stuff. And within 2 houses, now he's out on his own. As a matter of fact, his second house, he worked so close, with us and learning about how to do the contractors. For his second house, he's actually the lead GC. He did the most of it himself.
Yep.
He was an agent. Another thing we talked about, being an investor, you control your schedule. He was an agent, so he would spend a day at the house watching the project, helping with the project. I got to go do a showing at 3, but I'll be back at 4. But that is number 5 and number 1 are my 2 favorite.
So those are our top stories about the people who've been through the program. And I've been coaching since 2016 with this program. And those are just the big ones we talked about. There are a lot of people that come through the program that learn the business and maybe not as successful as those 5, but continue to be in this business and continue to go. There are a few people that have figured out that this business is not for them. And they didn't have the stomach for it. So they did a deal. We have had a couple students lose some money, but not a lot. But they've figured out how to build their business and now doing what they want to do. So it's really a good thing.
You say a couple of students lost money. And we've had another guy on one of our podcasts talking about, I lost money in my first deal. Your story, she had a rough deal. You take what you learned on the first one and say, okay, I've learned that. I'm not going to get burned again, and you go do it again, and you'll make money the next time. We've got people that do that. Maybe the first one wasn't such a big rosy parade, but they learned. The next one was easier.
Yeah.
What I really enjoy about our program is seeing these young people coming out. Everybody's younger than me. But they're coming in.
Not everybody.
Well, most of our people are. But they come in, and they're very nervous. 2 of our recent home purchasers, they're like, we searched and searched and searched, and we found the deal for them, or we found the deal. They got into it, and as they're nearing closing time, they're like, I'm so excited, I'm so scared. And now we've watched them go through the project, and there's days where we're like, oh, man, I'm stressed out. But you talk to them 2 days later, it was no issue. We resolved it. We talked to you guys. We got guidance. We went. We nailed it. And they're getting ready to go on the market. And they're excited. We hung out with him last night.
Yep.
And another story about these 2, and others have done it, they come into our class for a first class free. You can come to any class completely free as our guest. You're sitting in an actual class that is held in houses that belong to our students, and they're in the middle of the rehab, or maybe they just bought it and they're going to tell you, I found it by a wholesaler, I did X money deal, this is my plan. And then the next couple of weeks we go back and it's down to 2x4s. You can see where walls were, or we go back, it's staged and it's getting ready to be sold. But that's where our classes are. Mm-hmm. They come as the first time guests and go, wow, I really want to end this, but it's like, well, I want to end, but I don't have the right amount of money. I was like, well, look to this guy. He just came. He's interested in this program. Partner up. And one thing which most gurus would not do, we let you both join for the same price. You 2 of you join, we'll let you in for the same price. Mm-hmm. And now we've got a deal with a third party where we actually can offer through them a financing. Yep. If depending on your FICO, your credit score, they can loan you up to $50K. You can pay for the education and have a little bit of money put aside to start your project. But that's all part of our program.
Right. So to find out more information, come to see us on the web at www.invest-success.com. You can find out all the information. You could probably see some of the videos of the people we talked about this afternoon in those or today and see what's going on. And then sign up for a free class, see what we're really about, and do your due diligence on us and figure out, we're teaching what we preach. And it's really important that you do that. So for staying during this whole period, listening to Jim talk all the time and me, yeah, I know. We're giving a special bonus. If you do sign up for the course, $2,000 off the full year-long mentorship program. Come see us. Come get to know us. Give us a call. We'll tell you all about what we do, and we're pretty honest guys, and we do like to have fun, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We cut up.
Yeah.
He's a serious one. I'm the
Right.
comedic sidekick.
Right,
so.
right. I never laugh. I promise. So, but anyways, come find us, and in the meantime, go out and do a deal.
See you soon.